Hey everyone. So today we are going to develop this beautiful AI build chart application. So with the help of Bard API, Next.js and the React Native, we are going to build this beautiful application. So let me walk through the application and then we'll get to know what technology we are using to build this application. So first of all, if you see on the screen, right, it's beautiful landing page, and we have some few options to select the different chart faces. If I select this one, the all the color scheme of this whole application is get changed, right, and you can select any of them very easily, right. So I will teach you how to do it. After that, anyone you selected, let's click on let's chart. Then you have this welcome message saying, "Hello, I am Noi. How can I help you?" So each chart face has a different name. If you go back again, if I select this Pogo, it's called Pogo. Let's click on it, and now it's saying, "Hello, I'm Pogo. How can I help you?" So we will learn how to navigate from one screen to other screen as well. So we learn navigations in the React Native. After that, you can enter any message. Just if you say hi and send it, it will reply, "Hey there, how can I help you today?" Right, and it completely giving the response from the Bard API, which is developed by Google. Now let's type something else. So if I type, "What is capital of North Carolina?" Okay, and if I send it, you will see this beautiful animation effect of loading. Okay, so we will learn how to implement that one completely from the scratch. Okay, and if you see, the Bard API written this beautiful response for us. Let me remove this keyboard, and if you see the whole response with all the details, right, as I say, it's completely written by the AI program. Okay, so this is a beautiful application we are developing in this particular tutorial. So watch this complete tutorial and let's see what technology we are going to use for this one. So in this particular tutorial, we are going to use the React Native Expo build tool. So this is the very powerful build tool and easy for any beginner developers. After that, in order to navigate from one screen to other screen, we are going to use this React navigation library. This is the best library and very easy to write the code and very easy to access. Okay. After that, in order to use the AI API, we are going to use Google AI's Bard API. Currently, it's completely free. Okay, so you can just go to the official website and you can join it immediately. And after that, in order to write the REST API using the Bard, we are going to use Next.js to write the API. The reason that I'm choosing the Next.js is once you build the API, you can freely deploy it on yourself and it's completely free. So guys, watch this complete video, and if you did not subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe. And without doing any further delay, let's begin. So in this course, we are going to use Expo in order to create the React Native application. Expo is the one of the easiest build tool for the beginners who want to develop the React Native application for iOS and Android. If you go to the official website of expo.dev, you will find everything which you needed. So just click on get started. Here you will see how to create the Expo application using this command line. Okay, so let's go back to our folder. Open the command prompt by typing cmd, and once it open, just type npx create expo app. Remember, Expo is just a build tool. We are developing the React Native application only, and give the app name, application name. So in this case, I will say AI chart app. Okay, and say yes to proceed, and it will take some time to create or install all the dependency and to create a project for us.
A few minutes later.
Now, once the application is ready, you will see all the dependencies installed. Okay. Now, go to the project folder first by typing cd and the project name. and open the VS Code by typing code space dot. VS Code we are using to write our all the code for our application. I will close this CMD and increase this size. Now, if you see on the left hand side, we have all the files and folders for our applications, and this is our starting point for our application, which is called app.js. In packet.json, we have all the dependency which we needed. Okay, the name of our application, the version, and so on. Okay, if you want to know more the details of each and every files and folders, you can watch my this particular course called build the react native application and building the education application from it. Okay, so this is a very beginner friendly course and you should watch it. Now let's run the application first. So go to the terminal, click new terminal. Here you can type expo. Once you type expo start, right now my already port I'm using, so here I will say yes to open the new port. And if you see, it will open in browser with the port localhost 19003. Now here you will see some options, right? If you want to run your application on your mobile devices, okay, then you have to download the Expo client Go app on your Android or iOS device. Okay, once you download it and you are in the same network or Wi-Fi network, then you will see this particular connection. Okay, you will see this particular uh, option to select the app or run the application. Okay, before that you have to obviously log in to the Expo Go app, and same login you have to do it here as well. Okay, if you are running first time, it will ask you to log in with the username and password. Now in this case, I will use the Android device emulator to run the application. Okay, so I will click on run on Android device and emulator. Now if you see, right, this is my Android simulator. Here you will see the Expo Go app. Okay, click on Expo Go app and I refreshed it. Okay, so if you see, right, this is my 19001. This is my running application. Okay, this is the previous one which I developed, and if you see, the port number is 19001. Okay, if I click on this one, it will open the application for us. Okay, now if you see, the bottom side is doing bundling thing. So this is happen first time when you launch the application. Okay,
A few minutes later.
now if you see, right, our application is completed. The bundling thing is completed, and if you see, it's showing the open up app.js to start working on your app. Okay, this particular text is written in our app.js file. Okay, so if I go to the app.js, here you will see open up app.js, and that all the text, right? You can change the text, for example, subscribe to TubeGuruji. So if you did not subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe. And you see the text change, perfect. Okay, so this is how we can run the application on Android, any Android device or iOS device, or you can run it on your emulator as well directly. Okay, so now first of all, we will build this home screen. So if you see the screenshot, right, we have the text, right, and the name of this chatbot, then the image of this chatbot, and the simple hard coded text, and the list of these chatbots as well. Okay, and the last, we have the button. So we will also implement the React native navigations. Okay, we will learn in this particular course as well. Okay, so let's go back to our VS code and make sure your app is running. Here, I will create in the source folder, I will create a new folder called app. Okay, inside this app, I will create one folder called pages. Okay, or you can call screens. Okay, so in this case, we'll call pages, where we have all the main page, right, like home screen, chatbot screen, kind of thing, right? So inside page, I will create one more one file called home screen dot js. Okay, this is a home screen. This is nothing but what we are going to build this particular page. Okay, so if you did not watch my previous video, then please watch, because in that I gave some tricks. Okay, so in order to write the code, right, we want the default template, and with the help of rm react native function, right, if I type rnf and click enter, you will get the default template. For this one, you have to install the VS Code extension called React, this ES7 plus React Redux React Native. Okay, so you have to install this plugin for the VS Code, and once you type React Native function or just shortcut, you will get this template. Okay, now you have basic template for the home screen. Okay, now go back to app.js file. Over here, remove this everything. Okay, and just import this home screen inside the app.js. Okay, and save everything. Now we'll see, you'll get the home screen. See, but then this is nothing but it's written here, right? Home screen page you can, and if I save it, you'll see home screen page, right? So what we did, this home screen nothing but a component, we can say, and this component we will integrate it in app.js, because app.js is our initial point. Okay, where application will start to display on the screen. Okay, now right now if you see, right, it's coming in the middle, because for this particular view, we applied the style called style.container. Okay, and where it's, if you see it below of this one, right, you will see this styling they applied, right? So what I will do, I will remove this particular to style and save it. Now showing it center, it will show on the left side top corner. Okay, where we will start writing our code. Next, I will create a new folder, because we want some hard-coded data, right? So what I will do, inside the app folder, I will call services.js. Okay, oh sorry, not services.js. Let me rename it just a services, because it's a folder. Inside that one, I will create new file called chartface.data.js. Okay, and inside this one, right, I will put this particular JSON object. Okay, so and I exported this JSON object. The source code of all this project, I put the link, I put it in the description. Okay, so you can use this particular source code. So this is very simple. I put the name, so the ID, then name of the chatbot, the image of the chatbot, right, then the color of the primary and secondary. Right now I kept it empty because I don't want it. Okay, you can remove it if you want. So primary is nothing but it's color. Okay, to set, once you select the any of the chatbot, it will set the color for you. Okay, so once we start developing, you will get understand it. Save it. Okay, so I save everything. We are pretty much ready to implement the home screen. Now go to the home screen. Here, first of all, if you see our mockup, right, we have simple word called hello, and then name of this chatbot, right? So to get the name of chatbot, first of all, we have to access this chat face data. Correct. So we will use the inbuilt hook called use effect. Okay, if you don't know about use effect, please watch my previous videos. Okay, how to use it. And in order to execute this use effect only once, okay, I pass the empty array. So use effect is used whenever your component is get loaded. This use effect will get load automatically. Okay, if you did not pass this empty array, it will execute infinite time. Okay, so make sure you pass it so that it will only execute once. And inside that, right, you can access the chat face data. Before that, I will define a constant, the use state, right, the kind of variable only. And here I will say, we can give some any name which we want to select. I will say um, chart face, sorry, chart face data, comma set chart face data. So what I did, I destructurized this use state. Okay, so in order to set value for this chat face data, we will set using this set chat face data. So for example, here you can say set chat face data, and then you can access this chat face data. So just access chart face data, and if you see, once you type it, you will see where you can access this particular file, right? So dot dot services and then chat face data. So if you click enter, you will get, you will see this import statement, right? So imported in your particular component, and now in chat face data you have all the information. Now you have information in chat face data. Now I will create another use state, right? In this, but this case I will say selected chart face data. So this will hold, sorry, this will help us to hold value for the selected chart face. Okay, so whatever chart face is selected, it will hold value for that one. Okay, so initially what we'll do, I'll just set chart face data. Initially I will set the first element of this JSON object. Okay, so I will set chart face data. Okay, and I want to show the zeroth element only. Okay, as simple as that. It's up to you how do you want to show, but right now I'm showing the zeroth element. Okay, oh, so we want to set for this one like this. We'll see once you start proceeding. So if you cannot convert undefined value to object, so what I will do, I just put this chart face data of zeroth element. Okay, because initially, right, once you set it, it will not reflect the chart face data immediately. So that's the reason I use this chart face data directly over here. Okay, now we have this zeroth element in the selected chart face data. Okay, now what I will do, I will start coding here. Okay, so inside this text tag we can write our code, and this is view tag. View tag is used to display on the screen, right? It's kind of div tag in the HTML. Now remove this one, I will say hello. Okay, this is my first text. Then I want to show the text whatever is in the selected chart face data. So I will in order to show this dynamic data, you have to write in curly braces, then add the select chart face data. Okay, and then you have to give the name, right? Because if you see, this is the name tag for that one, right? If I save it, you will see hello and the noi, right? But according to mockup, we have to show I am noi. So here I will suggest I am, and say I am noi. That's it, right? Now let's apply some styling to this one. Okay, so if you see, right, if I selected this particular charbot, its charbot is color is yellow, so I have to show this yellow color, right? That's the reason we give this color as a primary. Okay, so here I will say style, we will using the inline style. Okay, and inside style, in order to show the dynamic styling, right, means I want the custom color. So whatever the color we store in this selected chart page data, that color you want to show it, that time you have to apply some different styling. So different in the sense, you have to write in curly braces. Okay, then you have to give the square bracket, and again in the curly braces you have to give the dynamic data information. So in this case I want to show color, but color will come from selected chart page data dot primary. And if I save it, you will see this color change to yellow, because in the first element we have this color called primary. Okay, and this color code is nothing but a yellow colors. Okay, also if you want to give some default styling, so in this case the comma, you can give another curly braces, and then here you can define the font size. For example, I want to give font size to 30 pixel, oh sorry, 30. Okay, and save it. You see, it's reflecting. Okay, copy this same styling because we want it for the I am, this keyword as well, I am, and the name of the chatbot. And if I save it, you will see this I am noi. Now if you want to make this text I am noi bold, you can give comma after font size, and then you can say, for example, text, sorry, font family, sorry, font weight to be bold, and save it. You see, change, right? Now what I will do, I will put it everything in center, so give some styling to this one. Okay, and this is very straightforward. In the curly braces, you can just say align item to be in the center. And if you want to give some padding from the top, just give padding from top, and let's give some, for example, 90. Okay, perfect. See, very quick. Correct. Now next is to display this image. Correct. So after this text, I will display the image. Okay, so for this one, you have to import the image tag from the React Native. Okay, otherwise it will not work. In the tag, and here you have to provide the source. See, source, this is the source keyword, and in the curly braces, again we have, because we are using the image source from the URL, right? Then you have to give the double curly braces. Then you have to say URI. Okay, and then you have to give the URL of this particular image. So in this case, the URL is we are getting from the selected chart face data dot, if you see right here, the image. So you have to call image and then save it. Now once you say it, you'll see okay, we don't see anything because you have to give some parameter called width and height in this case, right? So let's give some styling. Here I will give width to be like 150, and then height to be 150, and also I will give some margin from the top. So let's say margin and save everything. See, it's worked, right? Your chatbot information the image is showing on the screen. Perfect. Next we have this particular text called how can I help you. So in order to show it, just simple text and just say how can I help you and save it. Now let's apply some styling to this one. So it's very straightforward. In the text tag, add style, double curly braces, and just give some margin from top to, for example, let's say 30, and give font size to be 5 and save it. See, it's work. Perfect. Now we have to show this list of all the chatbots, right? But the only chatbot which is not selected, correct? Otherwise we have to show the or unselected chatbot. So what you have to do is we will put define view. Inside view we will show this list of chatbot. So we in the React Native we have very popular tag called flat list, right? So flat list is used to display the iterative list of the any object or anything, right? For example, you have to define the flat list, just type flat list, and you have to import the flat list from the React Native. Okay, so in the flat list you have to provide some they have flat list have inbuilt properties, and then that is the required properties in order to show the flat list. So first of all is data, right? Which data you have to provide for this flat list. So in this case our data is the uh, chart face data, correct? So just provide chart face data. Then after that you have to render the items, right? So in order to render item means to show the item, right, iteratively. So you have to define like this. So let's say item, and make sure the curly braces, this arrow function need to be similar like this, right? Otherwise it will not work, it will not throw any error, but it will also not work. Okay, instead that I will show view in the tag of this view. Perfect. Okay, now view is ready, correct? Now we have to show the image. Let's say image and the source, right? Here you have to provide source from the URI, and now you have to you can access your image from the item because it's contain a single object. So item dot image. Again you can give some styling, otherwise it will not work. So give some styling. Let's say width of 40, comma height of 40. Okay, let's bring this down here. Perfect, and save it. See, it's work, correct? Now another thing what you have to do is coming vertically, right? To make it horizontally, it's very easy. You don't need to do any styling. Just for the flat list you have to say horizontal, give value as a true. By default it's false, but once you make it true you will say it come horizontally. See, now let's give some margin. So for this style I will give some margin. So let's say margin, just say margin 15. See magic. See, perfect. Now the important thing is, right, what I said, that once you select this any chatbot, that chatbot not display over here, right? If you see this mockup, the selected chatbot will not display here, right? So what you can write, we already defined the selected chat face data, right? So here you can write if selected chat face data it dot id is not I okay, so chat face data id is not equal to item dot id, and then put an border. So this condition need to be valid. Okay, and then this one, otherwise that then only you can able to render that particular item. And if I save it, you will see The selected chatbot is no longer showing on this particular list. Perfect. So now if you see, right, we already have all this information, right? And if you see the mockup, there is some it's not visible, but we have some background for this one, right? So what I will do, for this particular view, right, I will add the background. So let's say style, and first of all let's give some margin from the top. Let's say margin top 20. Then add the background color, like, okay. So you can directly add the background color. So I have the color code, so I will keep it put like this. And make align item to be in the center, and then you can go ahead some padding margin like this. Okay, I have already copied and save it. Perfect. You can add one more text. Okay, so what I will do, after this flat list I will add this text. Okay, just saying choose your favorite buddy, chat buddy, and some styling to this one. Okay, like this. Perfect. Now we pretty much completed this one, but now how to implement this on click? Right now it's not working, right? So for this view, change this view to touchable opacity. So touchable opacity, if you don't know what is touchable opacity, you can watch my previous some previous React Native course, or you can go to official website of the Expo. Okay, so touchable opacity will give you capability of the click events. Okay, so you can click the items. Now if I click on this today, then it will work, right? So right now we did not add any properties, but for touchable opacity we have a property called on press event. Okay, and for the on press event you can define function like this. Okay, and just for example console log, you'll see click, right? If I save it, I click on it, right? See the little effect you will see here, and in console you will see the click event. Say click, 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 right? Perfect. Now what I have to do, we'll create one method, okay, about this one. So let's call one method called constant. Okay, and let's say on chart face press is, okay. So this will be right now we will just add the id. Okay, so we have to pass id from here. So what we will do, for this on press event, remove this console log and call this method called on chart face press. Okay, and here I will pass the id. So in this case our id will be item dot id. So what we will do, what we can do, we pass the id here. Okay, you can console the id, but yeah, it will be in the will be here, right? And now you can use this id to set the new chat face. So in order to set the new chat face, we have the state called state selected chart face data, and here you can call this chat face id, chat face data. This one you can call chat face data, and inside that you can provide the id, whatever id you want it, right? And save it. Now you will see this change. If I click this one, right, you see, but it's not getting the what we wanted, the exactly one, right? We're selecting one and it's showing different one. The reason is, right, in the on press event we are passing the item.id, correct? But item.id will be start from the 0123, correct? But item is little different. So what you have to do, for this id just say id dot minus one and save it. If I click this one, you'll see this one. If I see click on this one, you'll see this one, right? See, and I automatically remove from the list. If I select the first one, right, it remove from the list and replaces with the not selected one, right? And if you see the color is also changing. Okay, and this list is also getting updated automatically because of we added this condition, right? Selected chat face data.id is not equal to item.id. So it's quite simple, right? Now the last thing for this particular screen is this button. Okay, so for button also we can add the touchable opacity. Okay, so just add the touchable opacity like sorry like this, and inside the touchable opacity I will add text. Okay, and for the text just give some styling. So I will add the styling like this. the left chart. Okay, and if I save it, let me bring some here. Okay, so and let's add some styling. So I will add some styling to this touchable opacity as well. So I will add some styling to this like this. Okay, let's chart. Right now color is white, that's the reason it's not showing. Okay, and let's add some button styling to this one. So style, here I will say background color will be the same color we want from for this text, right? So I will say selected. So in this case, right, obviously we are showing it as a dynamic, so you have to show in a square bracket, then curly braces, and then you can say background color. So in this case, the selected chart face data dot primary. Perfect. Now in another curly braces, let's give some padding. So I will give some padding to this one. So padding to be 7, maybe 16 or 17. Okay, like this. And we can give width. So for the width, right, I will give width, and we have property called dimension, right, in the React Native. So from dimension, then we have, if you click on that one, then we have dimension dot gate. Inside this gate, we have option called screen or window. So in this case, I will select the screen. Okay, and then whatever you want width or height. So in this case we want width, and if I save it, you will see it's coming like this, right? But we don't want to touch to the screen, so I will multiply it by 0 0.6, and then it will show like this. Also, let's add some border radius to be 100, so it'll be a rounded corner, and let's say a line item to be in the center, so text will become in the center. Okay, and also let's give margin from the top. So let's say margin from the top like 30. Okay, perfect. Our list tab text also ready, right now it's not pressable because it's we did not add on press event, but according to our UI, our the home screen is ready. Perfect. Next, we will implement the actual charting application. But for that one, right, we are using the Bard API in order to fetch the data, whatever user written, right, and to get the answer, we are using the Bard API. So for that one, we are using the Next.js to build the API, the Express API. Okay, and you also understand how to build the Express API. The reason that I'm using the Express API, because we can able to deploy that one freely on ourselves. So everything I will show you in this particular lecture. So now, in order to create a Bard API, right, we are going to use a Next.js, so that we can write the REST API with the help of Next.js, so that we can easily and freely can deploy it on ourselves. So if you go to the nextjs.org, it's official website of Next.js. Here you will see to create the or a command to create the next application. Okay, so first of all, let's go to your project folder. Here, open the command prompt. So just type npx create next app. Okay, and then give uh, the name of the project. Okay, so in this case I will say Bard API. Okay, and say enter. Now say yes to proceed. Okay. And now it will install the React DOM and next. If you see, right, it will take some time. Once everything is installed, let's go to the project folder. So just type cd and the name of the project. Okay, so in this case is Bard API. Okay. And then open the VS Code by typing code space dot, and it will open the VS Code, okay, with the project. If you see, right, you don't need to know anything about the next.js, so don't worry about that, right? Don't worry about the any folder structure in this particular course, because we are just focusing on the creating the API with the help of next.js. So if you go to the public, oh sorry, in pages, right, you will see this API, correct? Here we are going to write the code. Before that, let's go to terminal, and in new terminal, just run the this particular project. Just type npm run dev, and then it will open the local the port number localhost 3001. So I will open it here, okay, and just give some time to load it. Okay, now this is a front page, we don't care about this one, right? If you go to the API slash hello, okay, and enter, you will see this response call name John Doe. Okay, the reason is, in the API folder, in the pages in the API, we have a file called hello.js, okay, and it's returning joe.t. If you just type, for example, type to TubeGuruji. If you did not subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe. And if I save it now, okay, and now go back to our application, refresh this API call, and if you see, name is subscribe to TubeGuruji. This is how simple it is, right? So this is the API we wanted. Now for Bard API, let's create one new file called bard-api.js, or just call Bard API like this. Okay. Now we don't have anything, right? We need a code. So let's go to the um, Palm Google API. Just type it like this. Okay, you will see the first couple of links, right? So first of all, let's go to Palm API. Let's see. Okay, and here you will see this particular front page, right? So go to MakerSuit. Okay, once you launch this makersuit.google.com, it will ask you to log in. So I already log in. Okay, here you will see the different type of prompt. Okay, and here you can create a new API key as well. Okay, for now we want to create the chart prompt, right? You can create text prompt, data prompt, or chart prompt. Okay, and if you see, if you click on create, right, here you can test it. Okay, for example, if I type hi, right, the model will give some response. Hey, hi, how can I help you, like this, right? So you can test it here. This is how simple it is. Second, if you go to the top section, right, here you will see get code. See, and click on JavaScript, because we are working on the JavaScript file. Here you will see this, all this information. See, right? Perfect. So this code, we are going to copy it and paste it in our application. Okay, so just the thing is, you need to replace your API key, that's all. Okay, now to get this API key, let's go back to create new, oh sorry, let's go back to this get API key. Say okay, and here you can create a new API key. Okay, so if I create new API key, so you can create it one. Right now I already have one. Okay, so I will use the existing one, but you can create a new one for you. Okay, I copied the same one, or just now you create a new one as well, right? So it's completely free for now, so you can use it. Okay, next let's add the necessary code and dependency for this Bard API. You understand where you can get this particular code, right? So go to jump prompt, and then in get code you will get this code. Now this is the documentation in order to install this Palm API, right? So if you scroll down, and here you will see different option called text, chart, and embedding. We are using chart, right? And you have to install the API client for this one, right? So this is the dependency. So first of all, copy this one and paste it in your project. So go to your next project, next.js project, and here just paste it. Oops, in terminal you can paste this particular dependency. Okay, then go back again, and then next you have to install this dependency. Okay, generate to the language. So I install this dependency as well, and then that's all. So we have to obtain key, we already did it, right? And then you have to just copy this particular line of code. You can copy it from here, or you can copy it from the existing one. Okay, I already have the code ready. Okay, so what I will do, I will go here and I will just paste it like this, right? And let me explain. Now, if you see, right, this is the basic code. The imported the required dependency, and then we have this model name. So right now we have chat based on, right, which is already there. I just added this API key, okay, and all everything is as it is, right. Some of the code I removed from here, right. So I don't want context, the message dot push anything, right. Now here I added this function, okay, so export default function handler, okay, and here I'm accepting this two parameter request and result, okay. So whenever I pass any of this what is say any of this query to this URL, it will accept it here and pass it as a content. Then this client dot generate message will create a response for us, and it will write the response like this, and then it will push it to the message. Okay, let's test it. I saved this everything. Let's go back here, and if you see, right, this is the endpoint where we are passing this our message, right. So I copy this one. Let's go back to a web browser, go to the 3001, okay, slash API slash Bard API, okay. Then you have to give question mark space is equal to hi, for example. As soon as you hit the response, right, it will check the content and the another content, the which is nothing but the response from the um, Bard API. Okay, so if I change this one and we'll say what is capital of North Carolina, for example, okay, and enter it. Will take some time and then it will give us the response. So we will wait for the response. So if you see, right, the question we ask and the content, which is nothing but the result, which is the Bard API is responded. It's saying the capital of North Carolina is Raleigh. Okay, this is how it easy. Okay, perfect. Now we will use this API in our application. Okay, in our chatbot React Native application. Now we are ready with our API. Now let's call the API here. Okay, so in the service folder, create a new file called global api.js. Here we are going to use the Axios in our HTTP client in order to fetch the response from the any APIs. Okay, so if I search for the Axios dash HTTP, right, here you will see this how to install it and everything, right. Just copy this line of command and paste it in your project terminal. Okay, so this is very easiest way to access the any API endpoint. Okay, and here we can call it in our project. So first of all, let's define the base URL, okay, of our API endpoint. So in this case, our endpoint is the, sorry, this one, right. This is nothing but my IP address of my system, and this is the port number. Okay, so our port number is 3001 slash API slash Bard API. Okay, then let's add the endpoint here. So we'll say get Bard API, and here we will send the message, right. So we when user puts a message, it will come up come up here, right. So I will set user message. Then we have to add the Axios call. Okay, so if you see, it's imported as well. Dot, it's a get method, so get. Then we have to add the base URL, okay, and then we have to add the query. That's all. Okay, so quest is equal to plus and the user message, and then export this particular endpoint call. So export default and just say get Bard API. That's all. Okay, as simple as that. Now once we export it, right, it will be accessible throughout the application. Now this API endpoint we will add it in our new screen called chart screen. So now let's implement the chart screen. For that one, we will add the page. So go to the page folder and create a new page called um, chart screen.js. and add the default function. So in this case, React Native function, and the default function I added. Okay. Now the here is thing, right? Once we are on the chart screen, right, from the home screen, when user click on the Let's Chart, we should able to navigate to the chart screen. So we need to implement the navigation. So for that one, we are using the React Navigation official library. Okay, so this is very easy to implement and to add the navigation in any React Native application. So for that one, go to the navigation.org. Here you will see this npm install. Okay, so this dependency you need to install. So go to copy that command and go to a project, open the terminal and paste the link. Then once you install this one, for the Expo application, you also need to install this extra dependency. Okay, just copy this one and then paste it. Okay. Once you are done with that, correct, then go to the maybe moving between the screen. Here you have to not here in the hello React navigation, right, we are going to use stack navigation. So if you don't know about stack navigation or tab navigation or any of these, again you can watch my the very popular React native course. Okay, the link is in the description. Now let's copy this command as well and execute this command, and then we all set to add the navigations. Okay. Now, in order to implement the navigation, go to the app folder, create a new folder called navigation for better structure of our applications. Inside the navigation, I will add home screen navigation. Okay, this is the very initial screen navigation we will add. Here, add the default function. Okay, now inside this one, I will define constant called stack is equal to create native stack navigator. Okay, this is very important. If you don't know this implementation how to do it right, this example will help you to implement the stack navigation. Okay, now after that we will remove this line of code and we will add the stack dot navigator. Okay, inside this one you can add what type of screen do you want to show. So in this case I will add stack dot screen. Okay, exit the tab, and inside this one we can provide two components. First, the name of this particular navigation. Okay, so in this case is home, and then the component. Okay, which component do you want to navigate to? So in this case the default component means the initial component of our home navigation. We will add the home screen component. Okay, which is nothing but our home screen page. Similarly, I will copy it here, and for the second screen like chart, I will add chart, and here I will add the chart screen. Okay, perfect, same, that's all. This is the very first step to add the navigation. So if you have multiple one, you can add it here, and just you need to use this name in order to navigate it. Now another important part, now in go to the app.js, here you have to wrap this view, or sorry, this home screen inside the navigator. Okay, so if you see this example, this tag navigator is wrapped inside the navigation container. Okay, so just add the navigation container. Okay, and inside navigation container we need to remove this one, and now we have to add our home screen navigation. Okay, home screen navigation, and save it. If you so, you don't need any effect on the screen, right? But only thing is we are adding home screen navigation, and very first stack screen which we define here consider as a default screen. As soon as you define this navigation container, right, with the navigation you will see this extra navigation bar at the top is get added, right? So that is default behavior of any stack navigation. So in order to remove it, right, in the home screen navigation, inside the stack navigator we have option called screen options, right? Inside that one we have different properties called header shown, and for header shown make it false and save it. If you see, once you make the header shown false, it gone, correct? So now we are pretty much ready with our navigations. Okay, everything is ready. Now go back to our home screen, and if you remember we have this let's chat button, right? So for this home screen we will add new property for the touchable opacity called on press, and on for this on press we will add the navigation. Okay, before that we have to add one hook, react hook, react navigation hook, sorry, and that is nothing but the put the constant call navigation is equal to use navigation. Okay, this navigation is imported from the react navigation slash native. Okay, now come down, and inside this our button on press event we will just add navigation dot navigate where you want to navigate. So in this case the navigation name is chart, right? So paste it here as a chart and save it. Okay, now if I click on the next chart button, if you see it's navigate to the chart screen. Perfect. Now another thing, right, when we select any of this particular chart body, right, chart face, we need to send this information to the next screen, correct? So for this one we have to send this selected chart face data. Okay, so what I will do, inside this navigation, okay, give comma, and inside the curly braces you can set selected chart face data and send the value is selected chart face data. So here I will say selected face only, and the value is selected chart face data. Okay, now once we send it here, right, in the um, chart screen, right, we can accept it here. Okay, in order to accept it you have to define constant router is equal to use router, use route. Okay, so again use route is get imported from the react navigation slash native. Okay, for this use route it also has different type of properties. So in this case we need parameters, okay, because we send the parameters as a chart face. Okay, so we, so once we set it as use route dot params, in the router we have the value. Now in order to get the value, right, I will add use effect. Add the use effect, make it pass it empty array so it will execute only once, and just console this router. So, yeah, so inside, instead of router I will say it as a param. I will just console the parameter. Okay, now if you come here, ignore this error. If I click on let's chart button, if you see we got this information. Inside this param we have option called select face, right? So select face, or we can call selected face, much more it makes much more sense. Let me go back home screen, and here we'll add the selected face. Perfect. If I go back now, and if you see here, right, console, if I click on it you will see selected face data, and then we have this id, image, name, primary and secondary, everything. Perfect. So now we have all the data which we needed for our chart screen. Now let's implement the chart screen. Now let's implement the chart screen. So in order to implement the chart UI, we are going to use third-party library called Gifted Chart. Okay, this is very popular library on the internet, and this is the one of the best library in order to implement the chart UI. Okay, so if you see the view of this one, right, it's very easy. You don't need to do any configuration, don't need to write any UI, but within a second you can implement the UI like this. Okay, it's very easy to add in your project. Just you need to copy this line of command and paste it in your project. So I will open here. Okay, open the terminal and paste it like this. Now the use case is quite simple. First of all you need to add this gifted chart. Okay, and then you have the set message which is the default message. Okay, so list of message we will add it here, and on send function which is a callback function from the gifted chart. So let's implement one by one. So first of all I will copy this gifted chart. You go to the chart screen and remove this text and paste it like this. Make sure you will import this gifted chart. Okay, so if you see the gifted chart implement from the react native gifted chart. Okay, after that you have to copy this all of this code. Okay, after that we will modify according to our need. Okay, so I will copy like this, and we already have the use effect. Okay, so I will remove this and paste it here, and I will remove this use effect and I will put this on send after this use effect. Okay, perfect. Now make sure everything is imported. Okay, so let's check everything. So import the use callback as well. Okay, and look like everything's ready. If I save it, right, let's wait, and if you see now the file exists, so we have to restart our server. Okay, because once we import any new library we have to restart the application. So I will stop the server first and then I will restart again. Okay,
A few minutes later.
so now once you are on the chat screen, right, you don't see anything, correct? So the reason is right now the view is not the fully it's not in the not acquiring a whole screen, right? So what I will do, I will add some style and just add flex to one. Okay, and save it. As soon as you save it you will see the change, right? Also if you want I will change the background color to white. So hash ff, see the change, right? Perfect. Now you can able to add the message here. So for example, if I say hi and send it, I can able to send the information very easily. See how easy it is. Okay, so now let's add some logic here, right? So what we have to do, once we land on this particular page, right, on the chat screen, we have to call the our Bard API. Okay, so first of all, we just say hello developer. We can change this message because this is initial. So I will say hello. Okay, and then I will give the name of the um, chat face, right? So I will say hello. Then I will add it like this. Hello. What I will do, we are getting this select face, right? I will store it in one state. So I will do selected chart face, comma set selected chart face is equal to use state. Okay, like this, and then just set the selected chart face here. So selected chart face data is equal to param dot selected face data. Okay, so we have this information as well. Okay, but for now what we can do, this is the instant use of this data, right? So I will add it like this and dot name, and let's say whether we are getting proper information. See hello Noi, because we selected the Noi, right? Just I will do this option of parameter. Sometimes if we did not receive any information it will not give any error. Okay, perfect. Now we have all information, everything is ready, right? We can change the avatar. So avatar will become from the chart face, right? We have this random avatar, right? So replace this avatar with the image of our chatbot. So I will copy this line of code and instead of name I will just add the image, and if I save it you will see this our chat face data. See, okay, and if I type anything, I send it, everything works properly. Perfect. Okay, now let's call the Bard API. Okay, so I will add method after this same. Okay, constant get Bard response is equal to the arrow function. Okay, inside this we have to call the API, right? So let's say global API dot get Bard API, and here we have to send the message, right? So we have to accept message here. Okay, I will tell you how to use this particular method, then operator, and then response is equal to the whatever the response we are getting. Okay, so what I will do, I will for now I will just print out the sample response. So let's say console dot response. Perfect. Now here once we get this message, right, because in the here we are getting this message, correct? So I will add if condition, if messages dot zero dot text. Okay, if it's there then send it to get response bar, get bar response, and then send this particular text inside this one, right? So it contains the user message. Perfect. And save everything. Let's say type hi and send, and then wait for the response. Okay, so in the console we will get that response. So if you see, right, we are getting lot of parameter here, right? And if you scroll little up here, you will see some information. So let's see where it is. So if you see, right, in the response body we are getting, we send hi, and in the content it's replying, how can I help you today? Okay, so now we are getting the response properly. So let's add that response and append that in our message, inside these messages, right? So it's quite simple. What you have to do, first of all you have to write if condition inside. Once we get this, receive the message, we have to write if condition. Okay, and because we are using Axios, the response will be in the response dot data. Okay, and in the response, the first object is obviously 0 and 1 is the second object, and in the content field we have this our response. Okay, and here we'll accept that response. Okay, so what I will do, I will put constant, and the same structure what we have here, right, we will paste it here. So in this case I will just copy it and paste it like this. Okay, so paste it like this. Okay, obviously, wait, sorry, so we have to define some constant first. Chat api response is equal to like this. Okay, so we have id, the random id, then we have text, the created ad, and if you see, right, this text is nothing but the response from the api, the bard api, correct? And then we have user id 2, the name, whatever name you want to give, you can give it, and the chatbot face. Okay, and if I save everything, let's see if we miss anything here. We miss this one. Okay. Also, now we have this chat api response, correct? Now what you have to do, you just need to set this particular chat api response with this one, right? So we have to set a message, and then we have to just add this chat api response and then save it. Now if I say hi and send it, you will see the response from the, it's supposed to see, but we got some error. Let's see what's the error. So it's saying chatbot face does not exist. The reason is, okay, this chatbot face, because we are setting from this parameter, right? Let's add it here and then save it. Let's say hi now, and if you see, we get the response. See how quickly, right? But if you see here, right, we have we don't know whether the chatbot is replying or what, right? So we kind of want some loading things, right? So for that one, use add one use state. So here I will say loading comma set loading is equal to use state. Okay, and initially use state will be false. Now this use state will use to set up whether the message we are calling the API and waiting for it or not, right? And for that one, we will set the value of loading true to false or false to true. Okay, so once the message is sent, right, here we will set the set loading to be true. Okay, and once we receive the message, here we will send set loading will be false. Also remember one thing, if sometimes it happens that user the api not reading anything because he don't know the answer, right? So that condition we also write. So here else condition we will write, and inside else condition, right, we will obviously set, we will add the set loading to be false, and then same chat api response I will write it here. Okay, so this particular response, wait, so I will just copy this response and paste it here. But in the case of text, right, we will replace sorry, I can't help you with it. So okay, we hard coded value. See like this. Okay. And then user information, everything is added. So obviously we miss this, right? We have to set the message. So after this constant, just set this message API response and save it. Now let's type something, send it, and wait for the response, whether we are getting any response or not. And if you see, sorry, I cannot help you with it. See how easy it is, right? Perfect. Now the thing is to add the typing issue up with the chatbot is thinking kind of effect, we have to add it, right? Now in order to add the loading effect, right here we this gifted chat also provide one property called is typing, right? And here if the is typing means the loading value is true, then it will show the typing effect, otherwise it will not, right? And that's why we said loading, right? And now if we set hi, and if you'll see the loading effect, see how easy it is, correct? How can I help you today? So if I ask what is IPL, question mark, and if I send it, now it will think it, right? And this is the bubble effect, we got it, correct? Nice. Still thinking, still thinking. My internet little bit slow kind of, and if you see it, it send us some information regarding the IPL. Okay, all this information. So this is how this Bard API we integrate with the React Native is quite easy. Okay, now if I go back, choose any other uh, particular chart face, and if I go to the latest chart, you will see the chart face also change. See, and it's saying hello Pogo, correct? Now you can change the message whatever you want. I will just modify message a little bit. Okay, so let's say like this. So in the very first, right, I will replace this text with this one. So hello, the name of this chart face, and then how can I help you? If I save it, right? Oh sorry, so here I will just paste it like this. If I save it, select this one, let's chart. Oh, so id is not exist. Let's me find this. Oh, okay, so here we don't need id. Okay, just need name. You see, hello Noya, how can I help you, right? If I change to anything like this, let's chat, and you will see the change, how it is, how simple it is, right? You can even change this particular button as well, right? It's quite easy. So in order to change the send button, right, for example if I type send, okay, or we have different property actually. uh, so one of the property is to change the input toolbar, right? Or render scene, or there are various different properties. So for example if I search the render scene, right, this is a function, and how to use the custom icon, they give the example as well. So for example here they add this scene with this image and everything. Okay, and this is how you can also update our scene button. Okay, so guys, that's all for this particular course. Okay, I hope you understand, and this is how easy tutorial to build the Bard API, the AI API in our application, right? And so that this is just one case study of adding the chart of AI functionality in our application. So this functionality you can add in any application, right? So for example, we previously built this React Native educational application, right? And here as well, you can add this functionality in your application. Okay, so guys, for that's all for this particular video. I hope you enjoyed this particular course, and if you did not subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe. And if you have any question, any doubt, you can DM me on my Instagram channel or my Telegram channel, or you can comment in the comment section and press like button, because once we hit the 100 likes, I will add new course which is very interesting for everyone. So let's see you in the next tutorial.